This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brian Paul Goodyear, file number 23-21393FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Goodyear, who is present in the courtroom, and I have Sarah Brenner appearing on behalf of the Attorney General. This is date and time set for a pretrial in this matter. Did you go get your fingerprints done when I told you to?
Never told me to.
Well, we sent the paperwork to the jail. So this is an AG case. So Becky, could I get another order for a copy of the order for fingerprints? Yes. There's one in the file and I'll send them over, or I'll let them know today where to go. So this is a date and time set for pretrial. Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed today on Mr. Goodyear?
Yes, Your Honor. I spoke with Mr. Goodyear and Ms. Brenner yesterday, and I believe we've come to a resolution in this matter, Your Honor. I believe Mr. Goodyear will be pleading as charged, no subs, with a delay provision. Ms. Brenner, if you would like to put that on the record.
Yes, Your Honor. He'll plead guilty, no habitual enhancement, 11-month delay of sentence where he's to pay each month as ordered, reduce the arrearages down to $16,000 or less for a reduction to an attempt, and pay the balance in full for a reduction to a misdemeanor disorderly person.
Okay. Miss Adams, I'm going to need a sentencing date out 11 months. So, all right, Mr. Goodyear, you want to raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Can you state your full name for the record?
Brian Paul Goodyear.
All right, so Mr. Goodyear, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the Attorney General. Is it your intention to plead as charged, guilty as charged to count 1, child support failing to pay, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 4 years in prison and or a $2,000 fine?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand the plea agreement that was placed on the record?
Can it be dumbed up for me a little bit?
Well, I'll set this is arrearages only, Ms. Brenner.
Yes, Your Honor. So I needed to correct that. So instead of saying paying it as ordered, he's going to continue making his payments as he has been, which is $279 a month.
Okay. So do you understand that I'm going to delay sentencing about 11 months? And during that time period, you're going to pay $279 a month or more, okay, to pay down your arrearage. If in that time you get it down to $16,000 or less, your plea will be reduced to an attempted, which is a 2-year. And then if you pay the complete balance off, you'll receive a disorderly, which is a misdemeanor.
Okay.
Do you understand that?
Is there any way I can find out where I'm at right now?
Yes,
Yeah,
I can tell you that.
Balance today.
Right now, he owes $24,812.66. So just under $25,000, sir.
He's done a very good job paying.
He's been paying consistently.
Okay, good. Okay. Are you satisfied with your attorney and the advice that she has given you?
Yes.
All right. And other than the plea agreement that was placed on the record, neither the prosecutor, the defendant, or anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed any other possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Ms. Underwood?
It is, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Ms. Brenner?
Yes, Your Honor.
And as far as you're aware, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. If a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. I'm out of breath. My asthma's killing me today. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Do you understand that you have the right to testify at your trial if you want to?
Yes.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right?
Yes.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No.
How do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about the time period between July 1 of 2016 through February 29th of 2020 in the city of Adrian and the county of Lenawee, which is where our front of the court is, that you did commit the crime of child support failure to pay? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
All right. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge other than what was placed on the record?
No.
Do you understand if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises that or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea?
Yes.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises or threats or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Ms. Underwood?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Brenner?
No, Your Honor.
Has your attorney promised you any particular sentence or estimate what your sentence will be other than what was placed on the record?
No.
All right. Is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes.
Okay, so Mr. Goodyear, you have a child support case, is that correct?
Yes.
And you were ordered to pay a monthly amount of child support during the time period of July 1 of 2016 through February 29th of 2020. Do you agree?
Yep.
And that was collected by the front of the court for the county of Lenawee, which is located in the city of Adrian in the county of Lenawee. Is that correct?
Yes.
And did you make your payment as ordered every single month?
No.
And that ended up resulting in a very high arrearages, correct?
Yep.
All right, are you satisfied, Ms. Brenner?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Ms. Underwood?
It has.
Ms. Brenner?
Yes, Your Honor, it has.
All right, so we'll set the sentencing out 11 months, but we'll still have the pre-sentence report prepared. Ms. Adams, what date can I use for sentencing?
It would be August 8th of 2025 at 8:15.
Can I get a notice of hearing for Mr. Goodyear because he's here in person?
Yes.
And I'm gonna make that in person just because you always come in person anyway. All right, so, I don't know if I said this. I accept the plea. It's been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He has competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case, other than the plea agreement that was placed on the record. So, Mr. Goodyear, I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. So when you get done in the courtroom today, I need you to stop across the hall. They'll set up a time to meet with you, probably give you a packet to fill out, okay? Fill out the packet, return it like you're supposed to. Be truthful with them about your background and the events that occurred. They'll prepare a report. We'll get that to Miss Underwood in about a month before sentencing. Give Miss Underwood a call to go over that, okay?
Okay.
And in the event you're not making payments, though, I will move your sentencing up, okay? All right, anything else, Miss Underwood or Miss Brenner?
No, Your Honor.
No, Your Honor.
Have a seat on that bench behind you. We'll get you a notice of hearing.
Fingerprints?
Yeah, in order for fingerprints. And then you're, it'd be Michigan State Police, right, Miss Brenner?
I believe so, yes.
All right, Miss Adams, how are we doing that now? Do they,
Want him to go to the jail? Or?
can he go to the jail?
Yeah, I mean, I put it on.
We're gonna send you to the jail to get your fingerprints. It's a little bit easier because it's hard to get in with the Michigan State Police. If they have a question, have them call us.
Okay.
So go across the hall, check into probation, then go to the jail real quick and get your fingerprints, then you can go back to work. Okay? Thank you very much. All right, thank you.
What is the
right.
sentencing date? Sorry.
8/8, August 8th, 25.
Okay, thank you.
8:15. All right, see Mr. Wallace in the courtroom.
Hey, Judge, may I ask you for a favor and for George
Yes, sir.
and for Miss Underwood? So I'm about ready to do closings on this federal case. Is there any way we can call Nick Williams with the permission of all you guys? And I owe you.
I'll do it.
I'll
I will
owe
do
you.
it.
I'll owe you all, guys.
No
I'll owe
problem.
everybody.
I'm looking for Ben Wallace anyway. Oh, there he is. Mr. Wallace will be right with you.
George,
All
thank
right.
you. Nicole,
I let
thank you.
Mr. Williams in. All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan. Mr. Williams, you can hear me, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Versus
Judge.
Nicholas Ryan Williams. We have two files, 23-21628FH and 23-21629FH. I have Elias Mawad appearing on behalf of Mr. Williams, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This matter is set for trial next week, September 11th of 24, on file number 23-21628FH at 10:30 in the morning. The plea offer that was made was, let me see, what to plead to an aggravated assault and a misdemeanor soliciting or something like that. But Mr. Mawada, are we prepared to go to trial?
Judge, first of all, two housekeeping matters. You should have an order allowing a change in the bond conditions to allow his Nick and his soon-to-be ex-wife. I don't know if you know or not, but the divorce has been resolved. And we wanted the order to be entered, allowing him to communicate with the wife on the app that they use to communicate. What's it called, Nick, again?
App Close.
Nick? App Close.
It's
So
called
I think
App Close.
Mr. Sneed agreed to it. Right. So
That has
that's
to
the
be
first thing.
Done
The
in,
second,
okay, so was that done in the divorce file, allowing contact that way?
yeah, Matt Hotchkiss, his lawyer, I think has an order from you, or the order is on your table, on your desk to sign regarding on the divorce end to allow that to happen. So I just wanted to point that out to the court. Number two, the Adrian house is now belongs to Mr. Williams. So, and I'll send an email to Mr. Sneed regarding modifying the bond conditions, allowing him to go to the Adrian house because the wife no longer lives there. If that's okay with you, Isaac, if I can just send you a request and see how you feel
That
about
was
it.
ordered in the divorce. I do remember that part.
Yeah, you can send that request, please.
Okay. And then third, regarding the trial judge. So I am still here in federal court. We think the jury's going to get it tomorrow or Friday. I can't tell you I'm prepared for trial. It's got nothing to do with the court. It's just this trial. We're in our fourth week. So what I'm asking for is one more adjournment. Mr. Williams and I have had some serious talks yesterday and this morning, and I want to present something to Mr. Sneed that may or may not work. So I'm asking for one more adjournment, Judge, and we'll see if we can resolve this matter out.
Miss Adams, do you want an adjournment of the trial, you mean?
Yes, sorry, Judge, adjournment of the trial.
Miss Adams, could I have the red book? And Mr. Sneed, what is your position?
We did speak about this, Judge, and understanding Mr. Mawad's schedule and, potential for resolution in this case. I have no objection.
So, he is not in custody.
He's not in custody, Judge.
So I can adjourn it out, but I'll be honest, my next available trial date. How many days was this? 2 days? I could do Tuesday, November 5.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, an early November date, if the court's okay with that. But I'm going to be, when I get done with this trial, I'm going to be having some conversations to finalize an offer or counter that I'd like to make to Mr. Sneed. I'm hoping it resolves out. And if it does, we'll call the court and get in earlier to resolve it out. And, Isaac, are you okay with November 5th?
I am. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so I will send the trial over to November 5 of 2024 at 9 a.m. It's a 2-day trial. Obviously, if you come to a resolution, call and we'll get you in right away. But otherwise, I will see you back on that day. And you submitted an order, you said to allow communication through app close and for him to be present at the Adrian House, correct?
I haven't submitted the order yet on the Adrian House. I just want to present it to Mr. Sneed for his concurrence, and I think he probably has to talk to the wife to make sure that that's what occurred and all that, but.
So
I'll
he
get that
was
over to you.
awarded that in the
Okay.
divorce.
Okay,
So
Okay.
I do know that.
all right. Listen,
just don't
thank you,
remember that.
everybody, and whoever I cut in front of, appreciate it. I owe you guys. Thank you, Judge, for
Well, good
taking me.
luck. Good luck,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Mawad. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
All right. Miss Underwood, I'm back to you real quick, and then Mr. Lyons, you will be next. All right, so that is what happened, right? He got the house in Adrian, right? I thought so. Okay. And you're fine with the app close, right? I think it was part of the judgment. Okay. All right, thank you. All right, Mr. Wallace, why don't you, where'd you go? There you are. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Benjamin Ray Wallace, file number 2022-20838FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Wallace. I have Sarah Brenner appearing on behalf of the Attorney General. I showed last time we were here, Mr. Wallace has been continuing to make payments. So Ms. Underwood, what is your update today?
Mr. Wallace is doing very well with his payments, Your Honor. Ms. Brenner and I are trying to work out something that works for everybody. We would just ask for another adjournment till the end of October, Your Honor.
Right, I do have October 30 at 8:30 in the morning.
That would be great, Your Honor.
All right, and Ms. Underwood, you'll do the step in order to adjourn, and Ms. Brenner, can she sign your name with permission?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Wallace, good job, and we'll see you back on October 30th at 8:30 a.m. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lyons.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hold on, let me grab your file. Oh, I already printed it off. I was like, what is that?
Your Honor, I just forwarded a signed amended plea agreement.
Yeah, and I got it. So this is Mr. Ross, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Look at his file. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Nathaniel Eugene Ross, file number 24-21794FH. I have George Lyons appearing on behalf of Mr. Ross, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date time set for a pretrial. I did receive a plea agreement form, Mr. Sneed, stating that the defendant agrees to plead guilty to count 2. I'm so sorry, operating while intoxicated, which is a 90, no. Okay, it says count 2 operating while intoxicated, 93-day misdemeanor, but count 2 is operating with a high BAC, which is 180 days.
Yeah, if I may address the court, Your Honor, I had sent an amended plea form over to Mr. Lyons. I think that's what he was referring to earlier, that he'd signed and returned to the court. If you would like me to place the correct terms on, I can.
I guess I have an amended information that adds a count 3 operating while intoxicated and a count 4 weapons. So is there an updated plea agreement form?
Yeah, there is, and I can place the terms on right now.
Hold on.
It would really
Let me see
just
if I can-
pertain to the count numbers.
Oh, he sent me the new one. He did, I think. I had one earlier. I thought I was ahead of the game. I printed it off. There we go. He did send me a new one. Let me print that. And now I'm printing. I throw this one away. While we're waiting, Mr. Coast provided to the court. Come on, print. Mr. Coast provided to the court a letter dated September 3rd of 24, that Mr. Ross had informed Mr. Coast that he has a new felony charge in Wayne County, as he was in a vehicle with a firearm. I left a message with Mr. Ross on September 3rd, telling him we need to show in person for his September 4 hearing with his 3 times a week AA verification. He was ordered to attend AA for blowing numbers a couple months ago, and he has not done well being out on bond. That's a letter I have from Mr. Coast regarding Mr. Ross.
I did not receive that letter, or I would have had him there in person with the AA information this morning. I do
Does he
apologize.
have his AA information?
Yes, do you have that with you?
Only because I'm sick on.
Your Honor, if you give me one moment, I will scan and see right now.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Your Honor,
Yes, Miss Underwood.
is that Mr. Robinson from the MDOC? If it is, could we have a breakout?
I have somebody who joined me from MDOC. What's your name, sir?
Robinson.
Okay. So, Miss Underwood, you want to break out room with him while we're waiting?
Thank you.
So I'm going to put you in a breakout room with Miss Underwood. It's really hard to hear you. So you're going to have to really speak up, okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, he's in there. All right.
Mr. Sneed, could you, sorry, it's Jennifer Walsh. Could you email me the plea for Mr. Ross?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
It
waiting.
involves misdemeanors though, Ms. Walsh, so. I don't know if
Okay,
it's gonna be your
disregard. Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so while Mr. Coast, I did put your September 3rd letter on the record, and Mr. Lyons is, as we speak, scanning his AA sign-in sheets to me, which I will
Okay.
then forward to you. All right?
Very good. Thank you, John.
All right, so Mr. Sneed and Mr. Lyons, I now have the right plea agreement. Sorry about that. So he'll be pleading guilty to an added count 3, operating while intoxicated, which is a 93-day misdemeanor, and or $100 or $500 fine plus court costs, and or 360 hours community service, rehab programs, cost of prosecution, government reimbursement, and prosecutor fees. So never a cheap offense there. And then he'll also be pleading guilty to an added count 4, attempted possession of a loaded firearm in a motor vehicle, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail, $1,250 in fines, and mandatory forfeiture of a weapon. Count 1 and count 2 would be dismissed. Is that correct, Mr. Sneed?
Yes, it is, Your Honor.
All right, is that correct, Mr. Lyons? You're muted.
Smith.
Okay, and Darren, I just forwarded the sheet to you. All right, so Mr. Ross, and now you have a new charge in Wayne County. I can't hear him.
Your Honor, I'm the attorney on that case. I love my hometown, but the only word I can use to describe the basis of these charges are farcical. They're offering a misdemeanor now, Your Honor. We have a probable cause conference tomorrow at 8:30. I suspect
all right. So I'm not getting good audio on him. So yeah. Can you put your name on the record?
Hello.
Okay, better. Okay. Sir, Mr. Ross, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? No audio on that.
Yes.
All right, I think you're gonna have to do like TikTok and just hold it in front of your mouth. All right, you can put your hand down. All right, so Mr. Ross, you've heard the statement of your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention to plead guilty to Count 3, operating while intoxicated, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 93 days in jail, fines and costs, as I've already mentioned, and programming, as well as count 4, attempted possession of a loaded firearm in a motor vehicle, which carries a maximum penalty of up to 1 year in jail. So is it your intention to plead guilty to both those counts?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Are you satisfied with your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Neither the prosecutor, the defendant, nor anyone on the defendant's behalf has discussed a possible sentence with the court. Is that correct, Mr. Lyons?
Your Honor, I think the recommendation is, and I refer the court to,
No upfront jail, and then he'll apply for a CPO.
yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Is he gonna be able to apply for a CPO pleading to count 4?
Your Honor, I don't know. If it is possible, I would have him do it, but I'm not, that's not my wheelhouse.
So Mr. Sneed, it's not mandatory. Like if he gets denied a CPL license, he doesn't lose the plea, correct?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Okay, is that, all right, so no other possible sentence has been discussed though, Mr. Lyons?
None.
Mr. Sneed
That's correct, Your Honor. Thank you.
and Mr. Ross? I got nothing.
Oh.
No? Say
Yes.
no, yes or no? No,
I think
we're not,
Your Honor, is that working now?
it's working now.
Use your outside voice, man. Stop being cool.
Hello.
Okay, so sir, to your knowledge, has anyone else discussed a possible sentence with me?
No.
No.
Okay, are you sure? Just what was on the record, right?
Right.
Okay, use your, yeah, you gotta speak up. For some reason, the mic works great for Mr. Lyons, but not for you. So, if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial. This means that you will be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial and not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. If you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
Ma'am.
Okay, so sir, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about November 25 of 2023 in Woodstock Township in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense listed in count 3, operating while intoxicated, first offense, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Say it again for me.
Guilty.
Did you get that one?
Yeah.
Okay. And how do you plead to count 4 in that same complaint that on November 25 of 23 in Woodstock Township in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of attempted weapons, firearms, possession of a loaded firearm in or upon a vehicle, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Okay. And let's see. Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to these charges?
Oh.
Okay, do you understand that if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Other than what was placed on the record, has your attorney promised you any other particular sentence or estimated what your sentence will be, other than what was placed on the record? Say it again for me.
Oh,
Okay, I think it's because it's far away. I don't know. So, sir, on November 20, and it's your own choice to plead guilty, right?
yes,
All right, on November 25 of 2023, were you in Woodstock Township in the county of Lenawee?
yes,
Okay, and were you operating a motor vehicle on US 223?
yes,
Had you consumed alcohol that evening or day or morning or whatever it was?
yes,
All right, would you agree that your blood alcohol content while you were driving was over 0.08, which is the legal limit?
yes,
Okay, Mr. Sneed, are you satisfied?
Yes, thank you.
All right, now, at that same time, you were operating that motor vehicle with an alcohol content of higher than 0.08 grams. Did you have a loaded firearm in that vehicle? Say it again for me.
yes,
Okay, and you did not have a concealed pistol license or anything of that nature, did you?
oh,
And it was a pistol?
yes,
Do you know, where was it in the vehicle?
on my waist.
On your waist, okay. All right, are you satisfied, Mr. Sneed?
I am, Judge. Thank you.
All right, has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Mr. Lyons?
Court has, thank you.
Mr. Sneed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. This court has made no agreement regarding the possibility of a plea or possible sentence in this case with the prosecutor, the defense attorney, the defendant, or anyone acting in the interest of either of them. So has he had an assessment done, alcohol assessment?
No, not to my knowledge. Have you?
No,
So Mr. Coast, on these misdemeanors, I do need to order that, correct?
Yes, he does need an assessment, Judge. If he goes down to district court, they can arrange that for him.
Or Mr. Lyons, do you have someone you typically use for those in Jackson?
No, Your Honor. I would prefer to use who the court is comfortable with down there in Lenawee.
Okay, okay, so, okay, all right, so I'm gonna refer this matter to the district court probation. So, sir, you're gonna have to come to Adrian, you're gonna have to come to the courthouse, and you're gonna have to go to the first floor probation department next Thursday, not tomorrow, but a week from tomorrow. I need you to report between 8 and 10 a.m. to the district court probation department, okay? And they're gonna give you instruction, tell them you need to have an assessment and ask them who you should go to. And then I'm gonna need you to meet with them. They'll probably require you to come in person to meet with you, to get information from you, to prepare a pre-sentence report, all right? Be truthful with them about your background, be truthful with them about any alcohol issues you have and the events that occurred that night. They'll prepare a pre-sentence report. We will provide a copy to Mr. Lyons. He will review that with you before sentencing. And I am going to set this for sentencing on October 18 at 8:15 in the morning.
Your Honor,
So, you busy?
well, I'll be in Mexico. We can certainly do it down there if you like, Your Honor.
I have no sympathy. There's no reason you can't zoom in. All right, Miss Adams, are you back the next week?
yes, ma'am.
Miss Adams, can I do October 24 or 25?
Well, I don't have the book, Judge.
Oh, I have the book. Thank you. Let me look. I'm gonna say, I can do October 24th. Mr. Lyons?
Not a problem, Your Honor.
All right. So, Mr. Ross, there's an agreement for no upfront jail. So, I'll set it for October 24th at 8:15 in the morning. You can appear via Zoom. All right. Because there's a recommendation for no upfront jail. You need to continue to stay in contact with Mr. Coast. You need to do your AA meetings. Anything else, Mr. Coast?
No, that's correct, Judge. I might also have to get those meetings. So maybe bi-weekly, Mr. Ross, if you could get me those that AA sheet.
You you can email those, talk to Mr. Coast and work that out. All right, because you can screenshot them, text them, whatever. All right.
Mr.
Okay.
Coast, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but if
No,
Mr.
you go
Coast
ahead,
has,
Mr. Lyons.
Mr. Coast has any issues with Mr. Ross, please feel free to contact me.
Very good.
Appreciate that.
All right. So we're all set. So a week from tomorrow, you need to report to the first floor probation department. All right, Mr. Ross?
Okay.
Thanks, Judge.
All right. Thank
Thank
you. Enjoy Mexico.
I will.
Is there a Brooke Bates in the courtroom? Rhonda, I have Brooke Bates. Maybe. Becky, I'm gonna guess somewhere on Wainscott, there's probably a waiver of arraignment. Is that correct?
Judge, the only waiver I had was on Ghosh.
Okay. Mr. Mawad dipped out. All right, Miss Bates, you want to start your audio, please?
Can you hear me?
I can, good. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brooke Lee Bates, file number 24-21926FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Miss Bates, who is joining us from Harbor Light. And I have a prosecutor. I have Amanda Wagner. I have Amanda Wagner appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time set for arraignment. Ms. Underwood, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
We would waive the reading of the felony information, acknowledge its receipt, the receipt of the witness list, and request for discovery, and ask that a plea of not guilty be entered on Ms. Bates' behalf, Your Honor. At this time, I apologize. I believe Ms. Wagner wants to speak to me.
Oh, it's okay. Ms. Underwood, I just wanted to make sure that you reviewed the information that we sent over yesterday, because I did add the OWI third charge based on the lab results that had just come in last week. So I know that's not a surprise to you because we had talked about it several times, but I wanted to make sure that you saw that.
Yes, Ms. Wagner, I did.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed, Ron.
Okay.
All right, so Ms. Underwood, how do you want to proceed today?
We would ask court to enter a not guilty plea, Your Honor, and set this matter for kind of a quick pretrial. Ms. Wagner, I believe there's a case in warrant status in district court.
I believe there's two more, if I recall correctly.
All right, well, she's in Harbor Light, so I don't want her to have to leave Harbor Light right now. So
that's my concern too.
is there a way you could change? Okay, I guess, like typically up here, we would change the bond that she has to remain at and successfully complete Harbor Light and set up PR bond, or that's something you guys could probably stick to down in district court, but I can't do anything about district court bonds.
Yeah, we can do that. I mean, I don't think that's gonna be a problem at all.
I have a court date on the 10th for one of them, I believe, for an arraignment. Can we just do the arraignment for all of them on the 10th?
Probably.
Okay,
Can we do
just
that,
got that-
Amanda?
So
What was that?
Miss Bates, Miss Underwood and Miss Wagner will look to see if they can put everything over to the same day. And they'll try to figure that out. I can't do anything about it. That's not my court. So I'm going to enter a plea of not guilty on her behalf, and I'll set another pretrial for September 25 at 8:30 in the morning. We'll do the notice because it is an arraignment. So Miss Bates, just stay in contact with Miss Underwood, okay?
She's real good about it, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Okay, what are you here for? Okay, all right, and are one of you a defendant? I was asking him, I'm sorry. What's your name? Spell your last name?
Benjamin, L-I-N-D-E-M-A-N.
Oh, Benjamin, okay.
Your Honor, we have Mr. Robinson in the breakout.
Yep. Okay, I guess you would like him brought back. Rhonda's your attorney?
Yes.
Lindeman, you're Aaron Lindeman. Okay, got it. All right, hold on. Nolan is in jail. Miss Adams, could you call the jail and see if Nolan could be made available? And Mr. Lindeman, Mr. Robinson. All right. So, Miss Underwood, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Michael Dwayne Robinson, file number 24-21698FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Robinson. And I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. So he's not been fingerprinted, but he's in MDOC. So, Miss Adams, do we mail that over to them so they will fingerprint him?
I believe they have to do a writ.
Okay, all right, so our next hearing is gonna have to be in person, Mr. Sneed, because evidently they have to bring him here to get fingerprinted. They can't do it within MDOC, like the state troop, whatever. Okay, so our next court date, we'll have to writ him over. All right, so Miss Underwood, you've had a chance to speak with Mr. Robinson. How would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, we would like to proceed with another pretrial in this matter. I have some things I need to discuss with Mr. Robinson, and it might be valuable to have him here in person, Your Honor.
How far out would you like the next pretrial?
A month, maybe.
About October 16.
That's fine.
All right, and you'll do the stip in order to adjourn?
I will do the stip in order if Mr. Sneed can kindly do the in-person writ.
Yeah, and can you make sure on the stip in order it says he will appear in person?
I will do that.
All right,
That's
and
October
then,
16th, Your Honor.
yes, and Mr. Sneed will do the writ for that day?
Yes, Judge, thanks.
Okay, and then, sir, that'll give you a chance to sit down and talk to your attorney, but then also for us to get your fingerprints done, okay?
Okay.
And you're currently at, where are you at?
McComb.
MRF McComb.
You're in Macomb, okay. All right, so, okay. All right, so I'll set the next pretrial for October 16th at 8:30 in the morning, and Mr. Robinson, we'll see you back in person on that day, all right?
Okay,
All right, thank you.
well,
Mr. Lindeman, you want to come up? You're all set, Mr. Robinson. All right, now I've got Mr. Lindeman at the podium. Stand right by that microphone. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Aaron Scott Lindeman, file number 24-21864FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Lindeman, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for second pretrial in this matter. First pretrial in this matter, maybe. So how would you like to proceed, Ms. Underwood?
Your Honor, very briefly, Mr. Lindeman has another case that was sent up last week and is going to be arraigned next week. We would ask that this be set down next week so we can look at all these things together, Your Honor.
All right, so next week will be September 11. So Ms. Adams, can we do a notice of hearing so I can serve Mr. Lindeman with that today? So we'll do the notice, and Mr. Lindeman will be back next Wednesday at 8:30 in the morning, all right? All right, so we'll see back on 9/11 at 8:30. So if you will just have a seat on that bench behind you, we will get you a copy of that notice of hearing, all right?
Also, ma'am, I'm supposed to be here for like a PPO thing, but the other person never showed.
In front of me?
I believe so, ma'am.
I think his PPO is in front of Judge Olsaber, Your
I go
Honor.
next door for that. I don't have the PPO, all right?
You want me to wait here still?
Wait for your notice of hearing, and then we'll send you over there, all right? Becky, are you in your office?
Yes, Judge, I'm putting it.
I just didn't know if you heard me. I heard the door close. I thought you might have been out and about. All right, so I have Jeffrey Kapnick. I have a bunch of jail windows, but no inmates. That's Mr. Dagger Margosian.
This is Adam.
Hey, this is Judge Ann Sloan. How are you?
Good, how are you?
I am good. So I'm ready for like Eric Nolan, Scott Rogers, Charles Gorton, and Casey McKenzie.
Okay, you want them in that order?
I'd like Mr. Nolan first, but the rest of them are all Mr. Malaro, so it doesn't matter. I'll take Mr. Burke last though.
You said Burke last? Okay, I am sorry. Can you give me that order one more time? I've got Nolan.
Nolan, Rogers,
Okay.
Gorton, and McKenzie.
Okay, and you said Burke last?
I'm not ready for Burke yet because I don't have his attorney, so.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Miss Underwood, are you all set for now until we get the inmate?
I'm sorry?
I'm just waiting on your inmate, all right?
Okay. Your Honor,
Judge, can I have a breakout room with Mr. Kapnick, please?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
You can.
Thank you.
Let me call the case though. In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jeffrey Lee Kapnick, file number 24-21720FC. I have Michael Dagger Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. And Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. So Mr. Kapnick, I'm gonna pop you in a breakout room with Mr. Dagger Margosian. Go ahead and click on join. All right. I don't know. Let me ask. No, I called the wrong one.
Your Honor, is Mr. Love in the courtroom? I thought I heard his voice.
Yeah. He is.
We can handle that
You
case.
ready for him? Okay.
Yes.
Do you want to have a seat up here, Mr. Lowe? Thank you, Mr. Love. I don't know, I'll call and find out. Let me get Mr. Love's file. All right, this is a matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Bruce Anthony Love, file number 24-21885FH. I have Mr. Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Love, and I have Amanda Wagner appearing on behalf of the people. This is a date and time set for pretrial in this matter. Ms. Underwood, how would you like to proceed on behalf of Mr. Love today?
Your Honor, I'm sorry, this is my case.
I'm sorry, Mr. Murphy, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, we had requested the transcript from the preliminary examination in this matter. I require those for a motion I intend to file. I think that it's been about 8 weeks now, so hopefully those will be done in a few weeks and I'll be able to proceed with filing that motion. So we're going to ask for an adjournment of this, if that's okay with the court and the prosecution.
Did you order those in district court or up here?
I honestly don't know where it was sent. If it was, because I did it right after the examination occurred. I asked my assistant to do it, so I don't know if the request was sent through district or straight through your court.
Right,
Let me see what the date was.
See that bind over. I don't have an order is why I'm asking.
Yeah, it says request for transcripts filed on July 23rd.
Okay, that would have
So
been.
again, I don't know. It doesn't say if it was done in district, but that was the day of the exam. So we wouldn't have known what court it would be in front of the circuit.
Yeah, so I just was making sure because I didn't have it up here. I wanted to make sure it was done. Okay, so we need to set Mr. Love out about what, 5-6 weeks?
I'd say that would work, Your Honor. 5 or 6 weeks.
About October 30th, and Miss Adams, Mr. Love is with us today. So I'll get a notice of hearing for him in the courtroom, please. So I'll set this over to October 30th at 8:30 a.m. You should have the transcripts by then, be able to review them and prepare your motion by that date. So Mr. Love, you can just stay right where you're at. We'll get you a notice of hearing and we'll see you back on October 30th at 8:30, okay? All right, thank you,
Mr. Love.
All right, so, I got a whole lot of attorneys and no jail rooms open yet. So let me close that breakout room and bring Mr. Dagger Margosian back. All right, Mr. Dagger Margosian, back on the record. I'm Mr. Kapnick. How would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, good morning, Michael Dagger Margosian for Mr. Kapnick. Your Honor, today is the time and date set for a pre-trial. At this time, I'm asking the court to schedule the matter for a jury trial, please.
All right, so. Record of like Mr. Love. Mr. Love has received a copy of his notice of hearing. I started a trial scheduling order in Mr. Malat's file, but I didn't finish it. Just so you know what's in there. All right, so I'll fill this out. Okay, so Mr. Kapnick is charged with two counts of criminal sexual conduct, first degree. These are life offenses with a mandatory minimum of 25 years. And I can sentence him consecutively on both of those counts. So how many days do you think you need for trial, Mr. Dagger Margosian?
I would defer to the people on that, Your Honor.
I believe 2 would be sufficient.
Okay. So I have set something there. All right, so on November 4th, I can start the trial on November 5 at 11 a.m. It could proceed on November 6 at 10:30 and then November 7. Or I could go one more week. And no, I can't. So the reason it would start late on November 5 is there's a presentation I have to attend that morning. But so I can kind of break it up like that, but other than that, I have like Johnny Ladd set for trial. I have, no, you guys don't want to work on Thanksgiving. And then I have like a 5-week trial or 4-week trial in December. So it would kind of be broke up, November 5, starting at 11. November, or actually we could start in the afternoon at 1:30, make it easier on everybody. November 6, starting at 10:30. November 7, starting at 9, and I do have the Friday available too. So would that work?
Ms. McClure's calendar shows she already has 2 trials scheduled for that day. In Judge Olsavers.
Okay. Becky, I'm looking for a trial date in January of 2025, please. 2 days, starting on a Tuesday. I would probably go Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days.
January 7th, Tuesday, January 7th, and 8th and 9th.
That works for the people.
Mr. Dagger
That's fine, thank you.
Okay. So I will set this for trial on January 7th of 2025, starting at 9 a.m. Okay, so let's look back in December. I'm gonna set a final pre-trial for December 11 at 8:30 in the morning. I'm gonna make December 11 the motion deadline. And then I'm going to make December 6. Because of the holidays, I know everybody's gonna be in and out, so I'm doing this a little bit early. December 6th of 24, I'm gonna require all voir dire questions as well as jury instructions be provided. That way we can discuss them at the pretrial if we need to. Is there anything else we need to add?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, so Mr. Kapnick, we will see you back on December 11 at 8:30 in the morning for a pretrial, okay?
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Again.
All right, I have a gentleman joining me from the jail. What's your name, please?
Eric Joseph Nolan.
All right.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, so this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Eric Joseph Nolan. We have 2 files, 24-21927FH, 24-21928FH. I have Rhonda Underwood appearing on behalf of Mr. Nolan. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. Let me see if I can get Ms. Teskey. Ms. Walsh, are you across the hall? Nope.
No.
Okay. Oh, I guess I can call. Hold on. It's Judge Anselm. Did we approve Eric Nolan for drug or recovery course? Okay, thank you. Bye. All right, so Ms. Underwood, Mr. Nolan has not yet been screened. He will be screened at the next meeting.
Thank you, Your Honor. This is date and time scheduled for arraignment in these matters, Your Honor. We would acknowledge receipt, waive the reading, and ask the court to enter a not guilty plea from Mr. Nolan, Your Honor, and schedule this matter for pretrial. I know Mr. Nolan desires to get into rehab as soon as possible.
I'm gonna pause you for 1 minute, Ms. Underwood. I have a letter dated August 30th from my pretrial services coordinator. They did an assessment on him. He's being held currently on a $10,000 bond. Dave Face is his parole officer and he has a hold on him. He did score extremely highly on the pretrial assessment, and he has a high risk to reoffend or not show up for court. Monroe County also has a bench warrant possibly for his arrest, according to Mr. Nolan. So I just wanted to give you that information before you continue.
Okay, Your Honor. Well, I know we did have a plan for Mr. Nolan to go to rehab and be screened for drug court, Your Honor. We would ask that those things be done. I think.
Okay, well, he'll be screened. He'll be screened for recovery court. You know, the warrants, obviously, if he's got holders and warrants, we're not gonna be able to send him to rehab now, but it's something we can address when we screen him. So.
Thank you. Then if we could have a pretty quick pretrial date, Your Honor.
So we meet next week, about September 25 at 8:30 in the morning.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Your Honor, can I say one thing?
Sure.
Miss Hutchinson, I can't remember her first name, screened me for recovery court, I believe it was last week.
There's a two-part process. She talked to you, but we haven't screened you yet. So
okay.
The team meets. So she did the pre-assessment.
Okay. Thank you.
All
so
right.
much.
Yep. All right. So we'll see you back on September 25 at 8:30 in the morning. And Miss Underwood, you'll do the stipend order to adjourn the pretrial. Miss Wagner. Oh, it's arraignment. We do it. So never mind. I will enter a plea of not guilty on behalf of your client, and we will see you back on that pretrial date. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was the 25th?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I have a couple jail rooms, but I have no bodies. Mr. Nolan, thank you. All right, I'm gonna run these files back to Miss Adams. We'll take about a 3-minute break.
Your Honor, do we have Nathaniel Wells?
No.
It's a pickup.
Rhonda, I'm not gonna do the pickup to the end of my docket, so hold on.
Yes, Judge, thank you, yes.
Oh, thank you, Jeffrey. That was good. All right. Oh, shoot. So. See, let's just. Yeah. All right. All the jail windows. But nobody from jail. Hey, this is Judge Anselone. I have jail room 2 and jail room 3, and I know they said they were getting the inmates, but in jail room 5, but I didn't know the monitors are turned off, so I don't have video or audio, so I didn't know if there was somebody in there.
And who are we getting for you?
Well, she was gonna get for me, I'm ready on everybody I have left, so she was gonna get Scott Rogers, Josh Burke, Charles Gorton, Casey McKenzie.
All right, I'll get 2 of them in for you.
You're awesome. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye. All right, well, let's see if there's anybody that we can issue a bench warrant for. Mr. Malaro, Matthew Sinclair. Oh, Brian's got a client with them.
Yes, Your Honor. What can I do for you?
Do you know where Mr. Sinclair is?
He's in Judge Olsaver's court, according to my thing.
Oh, I have Matthew Sinclair set today for arraignment.
He's did I waive that? I thought I waived it.
I don't know. You can check that. Mr. Fry.
Let me check.
Okay, so Mr. Fry, I'm sorry, I did not know your client was with you. I apologize. Let me find you. Where are you? I got Mr. Daly. Brian Fry, you have William Hollis with you, correct?
That's right, Your Honor, yes.
All right, sorry about that. You can always chat me and let me know, and I won't forget about you. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus William Dempsey Hollis, file number 24-21925FH. I have Brian Fry appearing on behalf of Mr. Hollis, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for arraignment in this matter. Mr. Fry, do you waive the reading of, oh, I have Amanda Wagner on the behalf of the people. So Mr. Fry, do you waive the reading of the information?
Yes, we would waive the reading of the information, Your Honor. I have discussed that with my client as well as his rights. We do have a plea agreement that we are planning to enter this morning, Your Honor.
All right, I do have an amended, or I do have my felony information. So I have count 1 RNO, count 2 attempted RNO. So what will your client be pleading to today?
Yes, Your Honor. So we did submit the court assigned plea agreement where my client will be pleading to count 2 attempted RNO, and there's a sentencing agreement for fines and costs only.
All right, it's a misdemeanor. Do we waive the PSI then today?
We'd be willing to waive the PSI.
Ms. Wagner?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, hold on. Waive PSI. No, fines and costs only. Okay. All right, so Mr. Hollis, you want to raise your right hand? Wait, okay, there you go. Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
All right, put your hand down. And I'm gonna need you to use your outdoor voice because you're sitting back a little bit, so you're faint. So, sir, can you state your full name for the record?
William Dempsey Hollis.
All right, so Mr. Hollis, you've heard the agreement that was placed on the record by your attorney and the prosecuting attorney. Is it your intention today to plead guilty to count 2 attempted R&O, which is a 1-year misdemeanor? The plea agreement is that you will pay fines and costs only. So is it your intention to enter the plea to that today and plead guilty to that charge?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, are you satisfied with Mr. Fry as your attorney and the advice that he has given you?
Yes, ma'am.
Gentleman joining me from the jail in room 2. What's your name, please?
Joshua Jordan Burke,
And who's your attorney?
James Daly.
All right, Mr. Daly, you need to talk to him or you're good?
I'm good, Your Honor.
Okay, just be a minute then. All right, so Mr. Hollis, you understand the maximum penalty for this offense could be up to 1 year in jail, but the plea agreement takes away that and it's just fines and costs. You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so there is a full comprehensive agreement on this and the court does not get involved in those agreements between the prosecutor and the defense attorney. So, sir, do you understand if a guilty plea is accepted, there will be no trial? Do you understand that?
Yes.
This means that you'll be giving up rights you would have had at trial. I'm going to explain those rights to you now to make sure that you understand them. You have a right to a speedy public trial by jury. You may ask for a non-jury trial, and if the prosecutor and court agree, you can have a non-jury trial. You have the right to be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to have the prosecuting attorney prove beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty, and you do not have to prove anything. You have the right to be present at trial and have witnesses against you appear at your trial and to ask those witnesses questions. You have the right to have the court order any witnesses you have for your defense to appear at the trial. You have the right to remain silent during your trial, not to have your silence used against you. However, you also have the right to testify at your trial if you want to testify. Do you understand that if your plea is accepted, you may be giving up the right to appeal issues that would otherwise be appealable if you were convicted at trial? Do you understand that, sir?
Yes.
Do you understand that any appeal from the conviction and sentence pursuant to the plea will be by application for leave to appeal and not by right? Do you understand that?
Yes.
If you are not a citizen of the United States of America, a conviction of a crime may result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the United States of America, or denial of naturalization. Do you have any questions about the rights that I've given to you?
No.
So, Mr. Hollis, how do you wish to plead to the charge that on or about March 4 of 2024 in this Raisin Township in the county of Lenawee that you did commit the offense of attempted police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing? Guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
Has anyone made any threats or promises to you to induce you to plead guilty to this charge?
No.
Do you understand if I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Is the prosecutor or defense counsel aware of any promises, threats, or inducements other than the plea bargain to induce the defendant to plead guilty? Ms. Wagner?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Fry?
No, Your Honor.
All right, and we do have a sentencing agreement. So, sir, is it your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes.
All right, so, sir, on March 4 of 2024, were you in Raisin Township in the county of Lenawee?
Yes.
And you came in contact at some point with David Lowe, who is a police officer with the Raisin Township Police Department. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, and when you had contact with him, was he trying to arrest you or pull you over, or what was he doing?
He's trying to arrest my son.
Okay, did you interfere in some way with him trying to arrest your son?
Yes.
Okay, so you agree that you resisted or obstructed an arrest that day?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Wagner, are you satisfied?
I'll add one thing. Mr. Hollis, you knew that Officer Lowe was a police officer and was working as a police officer when you encountered him that day. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I'm satisfied, Judge.
All right. Has the court complied with MCR 6.302 B, C, and D? Ms. Wagner
Yes, Your Honor.
and Mr. Fry.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. The defendant has full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. Ms. Wagner, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of the people before this court passes sentence?
No, Your Honor, this is the offer that was made in district court. Mr. Hollis wanted to have a preliminary examination as is his right, and he did that. He was bound over, and I didn't see any reason to change the offer, so I don't have anything else to add.
All right. Mr. Hollis, you have no objection to waiving a pre-sentence report and being sentenced today?
No problem.
Okay, and Mr. Fry, is there anything you'd like to say on behalf of your client?
Your Honor, we would just ask the court to follow the sentencing agreement that was reached as part of the plea deal in this case. I do believe it's appropriate. My client there was a disturbance at his home when the officer was trying to arrest his son, and they were asking to see the warrant, but obviously it was an arrest warrant, so there was not a warrant to show, and there was a lot of confusion going on. But my client has, taken responsibility for his actions, and so the sentence agreement is appropriate to follow in this case, and we just ask the court to do that. Thank you.
All right. So, Mr. Hollis, are you employed?
Yes.
And where do you work at, sir?
80 Express in Canton, Michigan.
Okay, and you work full-time?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so, anything you want to say on your own behalf, Mr. Hollis?
No.
All right, in determining the appropriate sentence in this case, the court has considered the seriousness of the offense, your history, the principle of proportionality, the statutory penalty, the cost of confinement, the sentencing guidelines, the report and recommendation of the probation department, as well as what has been said upon the record at this hearing, the criteria and reasons for the sentence, and the nature and gravity of the offense, the discipline appropriate to its commission, deterrence against repetition by you and by others, the potential for reformation, vindication for the law and protection of society. Sir, I'm not going to place you on probation, but I will give you 6 months to pay this off, because I understand, you can't probably pay it right now. So it's sent to the court. You'll pay a $200, no, wait, let me back up, $100 fine, $50 in state costs, $750 in court costs, and then there is a $75 crime victim rights fee. And sir, I'll give you 6 months to pay that off. You would just make the payment on the 3rd floor of the courthouse in the clerk's office, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So it's 750, 850, 9, 1150, I think is what it comes out to. So you can have 6 months to pay that, all right? So Mr. Fry, can we fax over to you his notice of right to appellate review? Could you have him initial copy and fax it back to us, or email it back to us?
Yeah, you get, if the court could email it to me, I will have him sign it before he leaves.
All right, Ms. Adams, could you send that over to Mr. Fry? We'll send you one copy, but Mr. Fry can make you an extra copy. If you wish to appeal the sentence, Mr. Hollis, you would fill out the information on that form, and you could just give it back to Mr. Fry, and he'll send it to us, or you can drop it off at the courthouse within 42 days to appeal that sentence, all right?
All right, yes, ma'am.
Okay. Oh, and Mr. Fry, I apologize. You did send me a chat and I missed it. All right. All right, Mr. Hollis, you're all set. Don't leave Mr. Fry's office till you initial and date one copy to come back to us, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Fry. Thank you, Mr. Hollis.
Thank you.
All right. What's your name?
Matthew Sinclair.
Okay. All right.
I was next door.
I know. We figured you were. Mr. Malaro let me know that. All right, and Mr. Sinclair, Mr. all right, hold on, Mr. Daly. So in the matter of the people, come on up to the podium. In the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Matthew Richard Sinclair, file number 24-21920FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Sinclair, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for arraignment in this matter. Mr. Malaro, do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Your Honor, this time we would acknowledge receipt of the information. There's only one count. It's count one. Mr. Sinclair would plead not guilty. We'd also.
You waive the reading of the information?
Yes, and we'd further acknowledge receipt of the witness list and ask the court to set a pretrial on the matter.
How far out would you like a pretrial?
3 to 4 weeks would be sufficient, Judge.
All right, let's do October 2nd. And Ms. Adams is sending over appellate paperwork to Mr. Fry right now, but we'll set it for pretrial on October 2nd of 24 at 8:30 in the morning. And we will serve him with his notice here today. So if you just want to have a seat on that bench behind you or that chair, it doesn't matter.
Your Honor, apologize. There's also a PPO violation. Could we set that the same day?
That's not my file.
That's next door.
That's Judge Olsaver's file.
All right. So
All right.
Matthew, you should go back over there, okay?
Yep.
All right, but I'll get him a copy of a notice of hearing, so he'll just stay here for a minute and then you go back over to Judge Olsaver's, okay?
Thank you.
So under plea of not guilty and set up for pretrial October 2nd of 24 at 8:30 in the morning. All right. So Mr. Daly, I have Mr. Burke. Let me grab all his files. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Joshua Jordan Burke, file number 24-21878FH, 24-21879FH, and 24-21880FH. Just for the record, Mr. Sinclair was handed a notice of hearing and he has left the courtroom. All right, I have James Daly appearing on behalf of Mr. Burke. Mr. Burke is joining us from the Lenawee County Jail. And I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Daly, what would you like to do today?
Well, I'd like to get things worked out with Mr. Burke. Mr. Burke would like to get things worked out too. But the problem is, with the plea bargain that's been offered right now, he would still be looking at a substantial prison sentence. Mr. Burke has already been incarcerated for 3 years. And Your Honor, in the 3 years I've represented him, he has never done better than he is doing right now. I think the court will be surprised at the treatment that he has received and where he's at right now. One thing, he was treated for alcohol fetal syndrome, which he had never been treated before. And now he's been treated for that along with the other issues, and he's under perfect control. He's willing to go back to Kalamazoo State Hospital and be released from there. But right now, I'm still trying to get a sentence worked out fashion so that he doesn't have to expend any more time incarcerated. He has been absolutely zero problem to anybody since he has received treatment. And if the court has an opportunity to see him on the record today, I think the court's going to be surprised at how well he's doing. Right now, he's articulate, he understands what issues are, and he wants to do better. And we're working on getting that resolved. But unfortunately, I don't have a deal yet together that guarantees that for Mr. Burke. Mr. Burke wanted me to make sure that I knew that if I couldn't assure him of that, he did not want to plead guilty at this time. He'd rather stay right where he's at.
Okay. Okay. So when would you like another pretrial?
Maybe in 2 weeks.
Do that. All right. I'll set it for, well, how about 3 weeks, September 25 at 8:30 in the morning? All right, so we'll set it for September 25 at 8:30 in the morning. And Mr. Daly, can you do the stip in order to adjourn?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. I know you have a busy TikTok schedule there, Mr. Daly. But, all right, Mr. Burke, I'm just teasing him because he has a young associate that forces him to do TikToks. So, which are actually very clever. So good job. I'm waiting for Mr. Sneed's TikToks, but, we'll see you back on September 25 at 8:30 in the morning. And Mr. Daly, you'll do the stip in order to adjourn.
I will do that, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Burke. All right, I have a gentleman in jail room 3. What's your name?
Charles Gordon.
Okay. Let me find your file. There you are. All right. Charles James Gorton, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And let me get your attorney is
Mr. Malaro, Your Honor.
yeah, there we go, Mr. Malaro. So, Mr. Malaro, yep, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Charles James Gorton, file number 24-21934FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Gorton. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Malaro, I do have a letter from Darren Coast, my pretrial services coordinator, who does pretrial assessments on individuals at the jail. Mr. Gorton's been in jail since July 29th on a $30,000 bond. He also is on parole, and there is a holder on him through his parole department. He did score very high on the assessment. He was very open and honest, had a good attitude, but they recommend the bond is appropriate because of the holder from his parole. So Mr. Malaro, this is a date and time set for arraignment. Do you waive the reading of the felony information?
Yes, at this time, Your Honor, we'd acknowledge receipt of the information, waive its reading in open court, waive any defects as the time and place of service. Mr. Gorton would stand mute as to counts 1, 2, 3, and 4, as well as the habitual offender 4th notice. Further, we would acknowledge receipt of the witness list. We'd ask the court to enter a mute or a not guilty plea on Mr. Gorton's mute plea and set the matter for a pretrial.
All right, so I want to plea of not guilty on behalf of Mr. Gorton, and I will set this for pretrial on October 16th at 8:30 in the morning. We will do the notice of hearing because it is an arraignment. Obviously, Mr. Malaro, if you're able to work out some kind of resolution before that, please get a hold of us. We're always willing to do pleas on a day other than Wednesday. So, Mr. Gorton, we will see you back on that day, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you, Mr. Gorton, you're all set.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Daly, you have Michael Jackson.
I do, Your Honor.
Is he with you?
He is, Your Honor.
All right. Okay, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Michael Jackson, file number 24-21853FH, 24-21854FH, 24-21870FH, and 24-21871FH. I have James Daly appearing on behalf of Mr. Jackson, and I have Alexander Bayanetto appearing on behalf of the people. So, Mr. Daly, how would you like to proceed today?
Your Honor, there's been a plea bargain offer in this case, basically where if the one charge is dismissed, Mr. Jackson would plead guilty to the other one. We're not opposed to that, but I'm still trying to get a treatment program together for Mr. Jackson. I want to be able to show this court that he's doing very well and can continue on what he's doing. So if I could, I would ask to have this set to the 25th so I can get additional information to provide to the court.
Okay, so I will set this for another pretrial on October or September 25. And we will set that at 8:30 in the morning, and Mr. Daly, you'll do the stip in order to adjourn.
I will, Your Honor.
And Mr. Bayonetto, he can sign your name with permission, correct?
Yes.
All right, thank you, Mr. Daly.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Millar, I'm just waiting for the jail because you have Casey McKenzie and Scott Rogers is in jail. So I think that's what we're waiting on.
For Judge Angelone, they should be the short one.
All right, Mr. Rogers, hello
Yes,
there.
ma'am.
All right, hold on, let me get my video turned on. There we go. Let me grab your files. And your attorney is Mr. Milaro. So this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Scott. Let me find you here. Alan Rogers. We have two files, 24-21764FH and 24-21815FH. I have Salvatore Milaro appearing on behalf of Mr. Rogers, and I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people. Mr. Milaro, you're with us. Yep, okay. So, Mr. Milaro, how would you like to proceed today with Mr. Rogers?
Your Honor, asked to set the matters for trial.
Okay.
And if we can get these matters resolved before that, we'll come before the court.
All right, so. All right, has there been a plea offer made in these files?
No, there hasn't.
All right, well, that's what I'm asking. So, Mr.
Yeah, there has.
What is the plea offer that?
Let's see. If I could have a moment to bring it up. Taking a second to load, Your Honor.
It's okay.
My attorney has never,
Hold on,
Oh.
Mr. Rogers, hold on.
Your Honor, in file 6 ending 6-4 FH, the defendant would agree to plead guilty to charges 1 and 2 with a habitual offender, third supplement. There would be a sentence agreement that he shall serve 57 to 120 months in the Michigan Department of Corrections. People would dismiss the habitual offender fourth notice. I think there may be some confusion. After that came about, I believe the defendant had picked up the new charges from April regarding the larceny, $1,000 or more. And that had not been dovetailed into a updated plea agreement. So that's where things stand now.
Is there a plea agreement or a plea offer on 21815 FH, the new file?
Not yet. We sort of hit a stalemate with the prior plea agreement, is my understanding.
All right, so Mr. Rogers, there isn't a full global agreement yet, and that's why your attorney has not communicated with you on that. So your attorney will always work with the prosecutor to try to come to a resolution that you would be happy with, but I am going to set it for trial. And so, let me see here. This is, let me see here. So your newest file is a newer file. So we would go to trial first on 24-21764. And let's see. That is possession of methamphetamine, controlled substance, possession less than, so 2 days at the most?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So actually, something, a bunch of jury trials, civil ones coming up. I can actually, let me get there. I could do November 5. Okay, so I could do Tuesday, November 5, but it would start at 1 p.m. And then it could go to Wednesday, November 6, starting at 10:30, and then we would have overflow on Thursday, the 7th. But November 5 wouldn't actually start till 1 o'clock. Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, it does, Judge. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fine, Judge. Yep.
Okay.
Good.
All right, at 1 p.m. All right, Scott. So if we do November 5, I would want a final pretrial for October 23rd. So October 23rd for a final pretrial. And then I'm going to make October 23rd the motion deadline. And then I'm going to require jury instructions be provided to the court by October 18, along with, well, voir dire questions and jury instructions. I don't do plea deadlines, and both files will be set for pretrial on October 23rd. If a resolution is reached before that date, Mr. Malaro, we like to take pretrials early if we can. or take pleas on days other than Wednesdays if we can. Is there anything else we need to address here today?
No, thank you.
Not at this time, Judge.
All right, so Mr. Rogers, you are set for trial, and Mr. Malau will continue to work to find a resolution that might satisfy you, and otherwise we'll see you back for your pretrial on October 23rd, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Malaro, I have a no-show for Mr. Murphy. I don't know, this person is Barton Blake. Well, I have Barton Blake, Blake Barton, and Jonathan Burgeon. They were pre-trials and neither showed. I don't know if you can text him and see if he knows where they are. I know he's in Judge Silvers. I know he's in Judge Silvers, so thank you. All right, well, jail. Becky, did we get paperwork on? Hey, this is Judge Anslone.
Hi.
I have, so let me see at the jail. I have Nathan Wells, but he's down on the first floor, so I'm ready for him. And then Casey McKenzie. I think that's the last one I need for Mr. Malaro. So if I could get Casey McKenzie.
Yep, we're getting the chains out right now. We'll have them out shortly, okay?
And then Nathaniel Wells.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
I didn't know if Mr. Murphy would say, oh, just have her call him and issue a bench warrant, or if he wanted to wait. I didn't know.
He said he's coming, Judge. Just be patient.
Oh, I know. Maybe they're in his office waiting.
He said he's coming. He's working hard to get over to your court.
Mr. Sneed, were you, wait. I have Amanda Wagner. I lost Mr. Sneed. Okay.
Do you need something, Judge?
Well, Mr. Mawad, I know, is in federal court right now, and he had 2 arraignments. He usually does the waivers on Maynard and Mo, but we don't. And Wayne, we didn't do Wayne Scott either. He had 3 arraignments today.
Let me see if I have any notes in my file.
He always does the waivers, so.
He's not happy about that federal case.
Well, they take forever.
Yeah.
They take.
Your Honor, I would be happy to help Mr. Watt out any way I could.
They're not here either, so I'm assuming he did waivers, you know? And they're not here, so.
Yeah, I think he did too, Your Honor. I don't have anything in the file, but I agree with you.
And then I have like 2 left from Mr. Murphy, but neither of them are present. And I just didn't know if he did waivers too. Hello from the jail.
Hello. There you go, sir.
All right, Mr. McKenzie, let me grab your file. And this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Casey Michael McKenzie. File number, let me get it. File number 24-21789FH. I have Salvatore Malaro appearing on behalf of Mr. McKenzie. And I have Amanda Wagner appearing on behalf of the people. This is the date and time set for pretrial in this matter. Mr. Malaro, how would you like to proceed today?
Yeah, I'd like to adjourn this as brief as possible. As the court's aware, Mr. McKenzie, we worked out his probation matter. That sentencing is Friday. And I think once that's resolved, finally, we can, I think, resolve this matter as well.
Well, I'm going to set another pretrial for September 25 at 8:30 in the morning. You can do the step in order to adjourn. If you work it out, just give us a call. We'll get Mr. McKenzie in sooner. That's no problem. But otherwise, Mr. McKenzie, I'll see you back on September 25 at 8:30 in the morning. All right.
All right, thank you.
We may have it
thank you,
worked out
Mr.
by Friday, Judge. So
That's all
we'll
right.
see. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Are you all set, Mr. Malaro now?
With your permission, I would be, yes.
Oh, I guess you can go.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Be
Thanks,
careful,
Mr.
Your
Malaro.
Honor.
Have a good day.
He's a Chiefs fan.
Huh?
I said, be careful. He's a Chiefs fan.
Kansas City?
Yes.
So is Taylor Swift.
No, he's a diehard Kansas City fan.
So is Miss Adams, though.
Oh, Becky. Oh, no. Okay,
I'm a Taylor Swift fan, so.
okay.
I can't apologize, Rhonda, sorry.
You know, it's okay.
But
It's
she's a Lions fan when they play, except when they play
Well,
Kansas
that's
City.
important.
False.
There we go.
Shush. No more vacations for you. I actually looked at getting tickets for the Lions games this year. Because I was like, oh, that'd be fun to go. Because we used to go. And then they're like so expensive now. Like crazy expensive.
You would think the court would have an in with their last name, but
I know. I tried to Facebook message him. I'm like, dude, get me tickets. But no. He didn't respond. All right. Well, Rhonda,
it's Wells I have.
I know. I saw him yesterday getting arrested.
Do we still have Pedro Hernandez to take care of on a BOP?
So I swear that, is it, I still have quite a few cases left, but the ones, I feel like the ones for Mr. Mawad were waived.
I don't have Pedro Hernandez on my schedule today, but I thought he was mine.
Well, he was Mr. Salik's client, so let me see here. Let me see what he is. It's a pretrial for probation violations, so it's a request and summons, actually, but it's a district court requesting. It's a misdemeanor. So in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Pedro Hernandez, file number 2023-21325FH. This is a request and summons for probation violation that would have been mailed to Mr. Hernandez. alleging that he violated the terms of probation by admitting to drinking and refusing to test during an arrest by the Adrian Police Department on August 3rd.
Your Honor, Mr. Hernandez is in jail.
Is he? Not on my jail list. Is he? I just didn't have my name against it. All right. Yes.
Jail trick.
This is Judge Anselone again. I know I'm being a pest this morning, but I forgot I had Pedro Hernandez in jail. So I guess all I need left is Pedro Hernandez now.
Okay, he's out with mental health at the moment. As soon as he's done, we'll stick him right in there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Bye. Did you get a sentencing recommend, or I haven't arraigned him. Did he get appointed to you or no, not yet? I
think he has been.
No, I think today's just the show cause for probation violation. I don't see any.
Hang on.
It looks like there was a prior violation of probation on February 16th, but I didn't appoint you then. Oh, then you got appointed on April 16th. And then I think you weren't appointed on this new one, but were appointed on the old one. So there is a recommendation. Do you want it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me go give that to Miss Adams. And I'm gonna guess Mr. Mawad filed a paper somewhere.
I tried emailing him.
They were. Oops. Do you want these Mawad files? He's on this. Mo.
There's a W.
Wayne Scott.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I bet he did or he will or something. All right, so Mr. Hernandez. All right, this is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Pedro Hernandez, file number 2023-21325FH. Ms. Underwood, we had a prior probation violation which alleged that he was arrested on February 10th of 2024 for domestic violence in violation of a PPO. He was also arrested for MDOP 200 to 1,000 from an incident that occurred on January 10 of 2024. On that one, you appeared and you were appointed to represent Mr. Hernandez. We have a new request and summons for probation violation. Mr. Hernandez admitted to drinking and refused to test during arrest by the Adrian Police Department on August 3rd of 24. He allegedly crashed his vehicle and fled the scene on foot. An open bottle of tequila was also found in the vehicle. This is in violation of term 14, 15, and 16. Ms. Underwood, I'm not sure if you can verify whether or not he has charges in district court regarding that. I would be surprised if he didn't. Put your hand down, Mr. Hernandez. Just put your hand down and be quiet right now.
Your Honor, I can speak to that. He does have pending charges. I can look and see what that next date is if you just give me 1 second.
I'm confused.
I know he is a violation scheduled, it says September 18, sentencing in district court on September 9. And then August 24, he got new charges on an OWI 3rd. According to the probation violation report from Mr. McCarron.
He does, and then that case is, let's see, we charged it. I don't see the next date though.
Can I speak with my attorney?
Not yet. You just sit there and be quiet for a minute, Mr. Hernandez.
There we go. Looks like he is set to be arraigned tomorrow at 1 o'clock on those new charges.
All right, and he's on mine on a 93-day misdemeanor right now. So, Mr. Hernandez, you understand we have a show cause, probably not the most recent one because you've had charges after that for violation of probation by admitting to drinking and refusing to test during an arrest by the Adrian Police Department on August 3rd of 24, crashing your vehicle, fleeing the scene on foot, and then an open bottle of tequila. You understand those are the pending charges against you on this violation of probation? All right.
Yeah.
Do you want?
Yeah,
would you hold on and listen to me? And Mr. Hernandez, it's about time you get control of yourself because I got zero tolerance for you right now because you are in a whole lot of trouble and you like to talk over everybody and not focus. That's your problem. Plus you're an alcoholic. But do you understand you've got this pending violation of probation against you?
No, I don't understand. I thought I already had a court date set.
So
Judge,
yes or no?
Judge,
Yes.
I think I can enlighten the confusion here. There was also a felony case he had to VOP on that you arraigned him on August 5th, set for hearing August 14th, or I'm sorry, set for hearing September 18th.
So he's got a new felony case I've got as well?
No, it's a probation violation in circuit court.
On a felony case?
Yes.
Okay, so Ms. Underwood, we also have a probation violation on his felony file set for September 18th.
Your Honor, he is going to be arraigned on new charges tomorrow. I obviously do not want Mr. Hernandez making any statement as to this violation at this point, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Hernandez, you got a whole bunch of stuff going on. So the less you say on a record that could be used against you, the better. So what your attorney is saying, don't say a word because anything you say, if you because you tend to talk a lot, if you make an accidental admission, we can use that against you. Do you understand? Yes or no?
I just want to know what's going on. That's all.
Well, I just explained to you what's going on. You've got violations of, listen, you got a violation of probation on your felony file set for a couple weeks out. You got a new couple violations on your misdemeanor file with me because you keep catching new charges. So Miss Underwood, do you want her to represent you on this newest show cause for probation violation? Yes or no?
No.
You don't want her to represent you on this one? She represents you on the other one.
But that's what confuses me because I thought I got VOP'd for this situation and I got pretrial on the 18th, I thought. For this situation.
This is a different file. I've got you probation 2 files. I got you on probation for a felony and I got you on probation for a misdemeanor. Today's the misdemeanor probation violation.
From what case?
This is the domestic violence 93-day.
When?
Dude,
What-
you
what is that
pled and
from?
were sentenced a long time ago. You got more, the problem is you got so many charges now, you don't even know what you're here for. But what I'm gonna say is I can put you in a breakout room with Miss Underwood, but I don't want you to make any admissions on the record. So my question is yes or no? Miss Underwood represents you on the other ones. On this small one, do you want her also so that she has all your files together?
Can I speak with Miss Underwood?
Do you want her appointed to you? Yes or no?
Or could you appoint me a new one?
No, Miss Underwood's the attorney you get through the PD's office. I have no say on that. Do you want her appointed on this file? Yes or no?
Sure.
Okay, Miss Underwood, do you have time to speak with him today?
Sure, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Underwood's gonna go through and explain. It's confusing because you have cases coming out your ears right now. So, and I will tell you, Miss Underwood, I will not be releasing him from the Lenawee County Jail right now. So I'm gonna open up a breakout room and I'm going to assign Miss Underwood, and what room are you in? Jail room 2. So I'll assign you both to a breakout room and she'll try to work through it with you so that you understand. And just stop talking. Don't say anything that will hurt
I
you.
pled guilty to a disorderly. I need to speak with Matthew Murphy. He's my attorney that was downstairs.
Mr. Hernandez, join the breakout room. All right. So I have somebody in the jail. Is that Mr. Wells?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, just bear with me for a minute, Mr. Wells. Mr. Murphy, we have a couple files for you. I do not have the people here. I'm
sorry, I heard my name. Who was that? Who was saying my
Pedro
name?
Hernandez.
Oh, okay.
He's got like 5 BOPs and 3 new files, and I think he's getting confused because he gets an attorney appointed on the new felony, but the attorney appointed on the BOP is different. So
Yeah,
in
he's got a
the
new
matter, in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Blake Anthony William Barton, file number 23-21272FH. This is the date and time set for pretrial. I have Matthew Murphy appearing on behalf of Mr. Barton, and I have Alexander Bayonetto appearing on behalf of the people. I do have a proof of service in my file from July 17th, where my staff did mail out the notice of hearing today to him. What is this? Looks like there's an appeal. Let's see, July 2nd of 24. There was an appeal of some sort, so a court of the file was sent on July 2nd, 24 via FileZilla. So we have complied with that. So, let me see.
Your Honor, if I may, in regards to Mr. Barton, I spoke with him on the phone a couple of weeks ago because he wanted to be updated. Here, just confirming, at that point, we hadn't received any new communication from the Court of Appeals. I just called him yesterday and I wasn't able to reach him. The phone didn't connect. It didn't even give me a chance to do a voicemail to let him know there is oral argument scheduled for October 1st on this case at the Cadillac Place in Detroit at 10 o'clock. So obviously, it's the prosecution's appeal. I assume they would ask for an adjournment of the matter. And in regards to Mr. Barton's absence,
so
right?
can you just set it out to October 16th at 8:30 in the morning?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll set this over let's do October 16th. I know we won't have a decision by the Court of Appeals by then, but at least we can know if it took place. So we'll do October 16th at 8:30 in the morning. How about this, Mr. Murphy? You might have an updated address. I know we did the notice of hearing last time. If you can do the stip in order to adjourn and mail a copy to him and verify his address.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bayonetto, can you sign your name with permission?
He can, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, so that takes care of Mr. Barton. So then onto the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Jonathan Antoine Virgin, file number 24-21877FH. Let's see here. Murphy. This is been dismissed, so I don't even know why it's still on our calendar. I show a noli pros was filed with the court on August 1 of 24. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor. I talked to him yesterday, letting him know that's what my understanding was.
So I apologize, that still stayed on my docket somehow. That takes care of that one. And Mr. Murphy, I think that's all you have. So
I'll stay and observe in case I'm needed for Mr. Hernandez.
Okay, so it looks like Ms. Underwood, Mr. Murphy was appointed on the new felonies.
Oh, on Mr. Hernandez's new felony?
Yeah, so Mr. Hernandez, Mr. Murphy represents you on your new felonies. He doesn't do violations of probation, so you kind of have.
He was the one who gave me the plea deal. I pled guilty to disorderly, not no domestic.
Well, then you were sentenced, so he's not your attorney anymore on this. Once you're sentenced, he isn't your attorney anymore.
What is the domestic violence about, though?
I don't know, you pled to it.
I never pled guilty to a domestic violence, Your Honor.
Your Honor, is this, I was just looking at the ROA. This was, I think this was a file from before, like he had a private attorney, and this is a violation of probation. Like, so there's confusion there, I think. So I thought the ROA said a different.
So everybody stop talking for a minute. So file number 23-21325, let's walk through it. You were originally charged with felonious assault, which is a 4-year felony. Then let me talk, you stop talking and you let me talk. So then you got fingerprinted, let me go to the judgment of sentence. And you pled on October 4 of last year to no contest to the charge of domestic violence under a deferral program. You were set for sentencing December 7th of 23. I sentenced you. I placed you on probation. So you were present for all of those things. The deferral only really works if you don't violate probation, and you have violated probation a couple times. Mr. Sala represented you at one time on this file. So that's on this file is where you have the domestic violence. And I have a couple violation of probations. Mr. Murphy's not on this file anymore. Ms. Underwood's on this file. So you have multiple attorneys right now because you have multiple.
Supposed to be here?
What?
Is Sala supposed to be here for his case?
When you get sentenced, they are no longer your attorney unless you go hire them again. Once you're sentenced, your attorney is not your attorney anymore. They're done with you unless you go give them some more money to represent you. So Mr. Sala is not your attorney on this file. Rhonda Underwood is with the Public Defender's Office.
I want to fire
She's been
Rhonda.
appointed on the violation of probations. So you have Mr. Murphy on some new felony files. You got Ms. Underwood on your violation of probations. Do you understand?
Okay, I want to fire Rhonda on my VOPs.
Okay, then you can represent yourself or hire an attorney.
Oh, shit. Okay.
You're gonna represent yourself?
Nah, I'm going to have her represent me.
Okay, so, okay. So Ms. Underwood, I'm presuming we need to set these over to take care of the charges because he can't make any admissions that can be held against him.
A 2-week adjournment, Your Honor, to allow what's going to happen in district court to proceed, so we have more information. I've told Mr. Hernandez that we are trying desperately to protect his rights against self-incrimination by doing this.
So, Mr. Hernandez, what I'm going to tell you right now is you need to check yourself. You have a tendency to talk when you shouldn't talk and not listen when you should listen. You are looking at prison right now on all these cases. Do you understand that? Yes or no?
Yes.
Mr. Murphy and Ms. Underwood are excellent attorneys, and they're going to give you advice. Whether you like that advice is irrelevant. I used to tell my clients, you might not like what I say, but I'm going to be honest with you. But you need to listen to them, you need to talk to them, and you need to be respectful. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right, and I will see you back on
I'm an alcoholic. I need like help, not.
Yeah, you'll
prison.
get help one way or the other when you get sentenced.
I need like a
But-
rehab or something. Like I don't need.
When you
what-
get sentenced, you can look at potentially rehab. But right now, you can take advantage of services at the jail, but you're not going to be released to go to a rehab program right now.
Okay,
You're gonna,
man.
you need to be very serious about this, Mr. Hernandez. You
Yeah.
just picked up a whole lot of cases. So we'll see you back on September 25 at 8:30 in the morning, and my staff will do the notice on the
Did I
violation.
speak with Matt Murphy? I have
Judge-
not been able to speak with him.
Not
Hernandez, I'll
today,
come visit you
Mr.
at the jail as
Hernandez,
soon
he'll
as we
talk to you when he comes to the court or to the jail to see you, all right?
Judge, I'm sorry, that other one is scheduled for the 18th. Did you want that moved as well then, or?
Yeah, let's move them both to the 25th.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Hernandez, you are all set. We'll see you back on September 25.
Mr. Hernandez, I'll come tomorrow or the next day to visit you at the jail, okay?
I need to speak with you, dude.
Yeah, I know. I'll come tomorrow, okay? I was planning on doing that, all right?
All right.
All right, thanks,
you, Your
Mr. Hernandez. All right, so, Mr. Wells, let me get your file. This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Nathaniel Scott Wells, file number 21-20376F. This is the date and time scheduled for request and warrant for probation violation. Mr. Wells, the allegations against you are that you violated the term 17 on your terms of probation, that on July 6th of 2022, you were ordered not to engage in any abusive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. The allegation is that on September 3rd of 2024, the defendant yelled at his probation agent, stating in a loud, forceful tone, "You want to see me yell at you," causing the agent to feel intimidated and threatened. Do you understand that's the allegation against you, Mr. Wells?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you are currently on probation for operating with the presence of a controlled substance and an attempted possession of methamphetamine, which means if you plead guilty or found guilty on this under the attempted possession of methamphetamine, you could be facing up to 5 years in prison. Do you understand that, Mr. Wells?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Wells, you do have the right to have an attorney represent you at this and all subsequent hearings. If you can't afford to hire one, we can appoint you one at public expense. Would you like an attorney up front to represent you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Miss Underwood, I am going to open up a breakout room and give you an opportunity to speak with Mr. Wells, all right?
Thank you, Your Honor.
Fine, he's in Monterey County Jail. All right, I'm gonna open that breakout room.
Your Honor, was there anything else that you had me down for? Just want to make sure.
I don't think so. Let me look. No, I don't see anything else, Mr.
All right,
Murphy.
thank you. Everyone have a good morning,
right.
Your Honor.
You too. Bye-bye. I think that's it.
Okay, and so the ambassador person, is that,
Miss Underwood, let me bring your client back. Three, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Just that. One back to 10 seconds. All right, so we're back on the record with Mr. Wells. So Miss Underwood, have you had a chance to speak with Mr. Wells?
I have.
All right, and how would you like to proceed today with Mr. Wells?
I would like the court to enter a not guilty plea on Mr. Wells' behalf. Your Honor, Mr. Wells has just been out of jail a short time. He has an appointment with community mental health to get back on his meds. Mr. Wells, without saying anything, Your Honor, understands that he was very worked up yesterday about some family issues. We would ask that the court set this down for a pretrial and release Mr. Wells on a PR bond, Your Honor.
Do you want a trial date? Okay,
I'm sorry.
Mr. Wells, hold on a minute. Your client, your attorney said, okay, so Mr. Wells, I know. Okay, so listen to me. You were, okay, so he's already said he was rude to Miss Teskey, Miss Underwood. Here's the deal, Mr. Wells, if you want to plead today and write an apology letter to Miss Teskey, and we talk about you never doing it again, I'll take your plea and I'll set it out, but you better get your butt to mental health. You better get on your meds. And you better never, you know, she has done a lot for you over the years. When you were in recovery. She didn't deserve that. So if you want to plead today, and then you want to write a letter to Miss Teskey, once you finish that letter and send it over, I will release you. But I will not tolerate my probation agents being abused.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, they're not mine, but they work with me. I don't tolerate anybody I work with being abused. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am. She's been really fair with me. I was just really worked up. It was uncalled for. I understand completely.
So, Miss Underwood, would your client like to enter a plea today?
Mr. Wells?
Are you going to plead to the
would you
violation
like
of probation,
to
Mr.
enter a
Wells?
plea today?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr.
All
Wells,
right.
you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Wells, you understand the probation violation could carry a maximum penalty of up to 5 years in prison. I've already explained that to you, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now, Ms. Underwood wanted to enter a not guilty plea and try to get you out to get back into CMH to get on your meds, but you said you wanted to plead today, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so do you understand that you do have a right to contest this violation of probation charge and to have a trial on it?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that throughout that trial, you would be presumed innocent until your guilt is proven by a preponderance of the evidence?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to have all the witnesses against you appear at your trial, to have your lawyer ask those witnesses questions. You may ask them yourself, and to have me order any witnesses you might have to appear at the trial. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
You do not have to testify at your trial, and no one can say anything about you not testifying or hold it against you in any way. Do you understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
On the other hand, do you understand that you have a right to testify at your trial if you want to testify?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you step up to the podium, Ms. Teskey? Ms. Teskey entered the courtroom and she's going to step up to the podium. Do you understand if you plead guilty, you'll be giving up your right to a trial, as I've already explained to you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and has anything been promised to you to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone threatened you in any way to get you to plead guilty?
No, ma'am.
If I accept this plea, you will be giving up any and all claims that your plea is given as a result of promises or threats that were not disclosed to the court on the record during this hearing, or that it was not your own choice to enter the plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's your own choice to plead guilty?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so Mr. Wells, you were placed on probation. One of the things you were ordered not to do is engage in abusive, threatening, or intimidating behavior. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you reported to Ms. Teskey yesterday, and I actually saw you being taken into custody when I got off the elevator. And did you yell at her?
I was rude and I was getting loud. I wasn't trying to yell. I'm just a loud person. So
No,
when
Mr. Wells.
When I get worked up, it does seem like I'm yelling. I wasn't actually screaming at her, but I was loud and I was being rude because I had other things going on. And Miss Teskey, I'm sorry. It wasn't directed towards you. You were just in the path of, hurt, and I got a bunch of stuff that's going on. I have not been taking my meds like I was supposed to. I just got them like the day before I went to come and see you and report. None of this is it's not your fault. It was me overreacting. It was me being a jackass, pardon my language. And I'm sorry, I really am. It wasn't meant to come at you like that. The grandmother that's having a lot of health issues is very important to me. It's not the grandma that I live with. It's not the grandma that I have to deal with every day. It's my mom's mom. And my mom's very important. So everybody's really emotional right now. And I didn't mean to be a dick to you. I just felt like me and you were button heads, and I felt like I was being targeted because we just haven't had the greatest of past. But I do know that you have done right by me in the past, and you still will do right by me today. I'm sorry. I really am sorry. I didn't mean to be a dick to you. It just kind of came out.
Well, Judge, we could all hear him in our office demanding, yelling at the counter. So.
Well, I accept the plea. It has been given understandably, voluntarily, and accurately. He does have full knowledge of his rights. He does have competent counsel. I'm going to refer this matter to the probation department for a pre-sentence investigation. I am going to set this matter for sentencing on September 13 at 8 a.m. Mr. Wells.
Your Honor, can we set that out a little further? I would like to see if he becomes compliant with his mental health.
How far up?
30 days.
On the 12th, I have an in-person interview with CMH in
Hold
the building
on.
right here.
Hold on. She wants,
Okay.
Ms. Teskey's asking to adjourn this out further for you to get on your meds and to become compliant. So, Miss Adams, I can do, let me see, hold on a minute. I could do, hold on, let me get there. Ew, yeah. I'm doing a wedding. No, I'm gone. All right, I'm just gonna move this to October 18th at 8:15 because that's actually my next day available. So 10:18 at 8:15 in the morning. And Mr. Wells, all right, first of all, thank you for being honest and apologizing to her. But Mr. Wells, we always have differences of personalities, but Miss Teskey, when you were in recovery court and all the other programming, she has always done her best. As you said, she's done her best by you. I know it's frustrating, but you cannot treat people that work at this courthouse like this. I've yelled at attorneys for abusing my staff. So we do not allow that, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
And I will, since you did an oral letter to Ms. Teskey, I will release you on a PR bond. But you must, Ms. Teskey will probably amend the terms of probation to require you to be compliant with your medication and any direction from CMH. I'm sorry that you're going through family difficulties. We all suffer with that. It's hard, but when it gets hard, go to counseling. Don't take it out on the people around you.
Thank you,
Yes,
Jen.
ma'am.
Thank you, Ms. Tusky. All right, so your paperwork, does he report next Tuesday?
He needs to report today.
When you get out of jail, you need to report to Ms. Tusky, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
You close 12 to 1 for lunch, Ms. Tusky?
Yes, Judge.
They're closed 12 to 1, so if you get out during that time period, you'll have to wait till they get back from lunch, all right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so, we'll see you back on that day, all right, Mr. Wells?
Yep, the 25th, right? I'll have paperwork.
I don't know what I said now. I think that
October 18th.
October 18th at 8:30.
Okay, thank you.
It'll be on your jail paperwork. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.